What's up, guys? We're back with another video. We were back after a holiday weekend, and I hope everyone had a fun and safe Halloween. I flew back home to visit family, hence why I haven't posted a video in a few days. Either way, I'm back now and wanted to put together a video going over what I believe to be the top 10 PvP weapon and armor perks in New World. Before we begin, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and notification bell if you want to get notified when I post more videos. I'm really enjoying making content for you guys and appreciate all of the support I have received thus far, so let's keep the ball rolling. Keep in mind that the perk percents that I'm showing is at the maximum gear score of 600, so if you have an item with a lower gear score than 600, the perk percents will be lower. First, let's go into the top PvP armor perks. For jewelry, we have Health and Keen Awareness. These are both incredible perks and scale very well with any PvP build. The Health perk will increase your maximum health by 9.4%, which is absolutely insane. This perk can be equipped on your amulet and scaled incredibly well with Constitution and its applicable attribute perks, which everyone focusing on PvP should be spec'd into, at least slightly. Keen Awareness, which can be equipped on your ring, increases your critical strike chance by 11%. This is undoubtedly the best PvP perk you can have on a ring, and a flat critical strike chance increase will buff your damage and healing immensely, no matter what spec and weapon combo you run. Now for perks that can be equipped on your chest, helmet, gloves, pants, and shoes, we have Invigorated, Resilient, and Vigor. All three of these perks are incredible for flat survivability and can be stacked on separate pieces of armor. Invigorated will increase the expiration time of Weaken, Disease, Exhaust, and Rend on you by 4.8%. A lot of weapons apply these debuffs, and Rend, for example, increases the amount of damage you take, which is a very strong debuff that you want off of you as fast as possible. Now, Resilient is an interesting one because right now, to my knowledge, it is actually bugged in reducing all forms of damage, not just critical hits. Even after this bug is fixed, I still believe that this perk is mandatory in armor for that flat survivability and damage reduction. In its intended form, Resilient will decrease the amount of critical strike damage you take by 4.8%, and some weapons like the bow, spear, and ice gauntlet can critically strike very high, so you want that damage reduced as much as possible. Vigor, although is the weakest of the three perks, in my opinion, is still a very strong armor perk for PvP. This perk will expire burn, bleed, and poisons 4.8% faster. The thing that makes this perk great is because of the burn time reduction. The Fire Staff, which applies a lot of burns, is one of the highest damage dealing weapons in the game, and being able to survive longer against this weapon will be of utmost importance. The last two armor perks I sort of combined into one because picking one depends on your build and playstyle. Refreshing Evasion and Refreshing can be equipped on any armor type, including all jewelry and shields. Refreshing Evasion reduces your active cooldowns by 0.95% after exiting the dodge animation, and Refreshing applies a flat 2.8% max cooldown reduction. If you run weapons that scale primarily off of dexterity, I would recommend picking the Refreshing Evasion perk because you will, or should be, dodging all the time, which will actively be reducing your ability cooldowns. If you're more of a stand in the backline player using the Fire Staff or Life Staff, for example, you may not find yourself dodging a lot. If this is the case, I would recommend running Refreshing, as a flat cooldown reduction will benefit you more and allow you to use your abilities more consistently. Now let's get into my top weapon PvP perks. Looking at some of these perks get me really excited for late game crafting because these are just absolutely insane and will increase your damage immensely. The first perk, Enchanted, will increase your light and heavy attacks by a flat 9.5%. This is pretty much applicable for every single weapon in the game, but especially for weapons that tend to use more light and heavy attacks, like the Rapier, Spear, Great Axe, and Hatchet. As a spear user myself, I would want this on my best slot spear because I focus on light attack perks in my PvP build. The second perk, Vicious, increases your critical strike damage by 11%. For a dexterity-focused player, this is almost a mandatory perk. Because of the dexterity attribute perks you will pick up, Vicious will increase your damage even more when compared to other specs. Now the next perk pairs very well with the Vicious perk, and that perk is Keen. Like Keen Awareness, that is equipped on your ring that we spoke about earlier, Keen increases your flat critical strike chance by 11%. For any build, but especially for Dex players, running Vicious, Keen, and Keen Awareness will be absolutely nutty in terms of damage increase. If you are put in a position to choose between these perks, I would recommend that as a Dex player you should pick Vicious, but as any other build that deals damage, I would recommend Keen. The next perk, Keenly Empowered, grants the player a 15% empower for 5 seconds on a successful critical strike. For those of you that don't know, an empower is basically just a flat damage increase, so a 15% empower is just a crazy flat damage increase for every single spec and weapon combo in New World. The 10-second internal cooldown, this perk should just about always be up if you are spec'd correctly and running Keen and or Keen Awareness. The last weapon perk, Refreshing Move, reduces your active cooldowns by 2.8% for each successful light and heavy attack. If you think about it, this is pretty crazy because some weapons will be spamming light and heavy attacks pretty consistently. So this perk pairs incredibly well with the enchanted weapon perk that we spoke about earlier that grants a flat damage increase for every light and heavy attack. With Refreshing Move, your abilities will be coming off cooldown very quickly, especially for a player using a weapon that focuses on light and heavy attacks. That covers it for this video, guys. I want to know what you guys think about my top 10 PvP weapon and armor perks, so drop a comment and let me know. What is your favorite perk for PvP? Are you guys looking forward to crafting weapons and armor with some of these perks that I've listed? I just hit 200 armoring and engineering, so I'm really excited to start crafting some high gear score spears, muskets, and armor with some of these perks. I appreciate you guys watching the video. Go ahead and drop a like if you enjoyed it. Friendly reminder that I do stream on Twitch at twitch.tv/jbravotv, so go ahead and drop me a follow over there if you ever want to hang out on stream or have any questions about these perks, my builds, or anything else New World. Thanks again, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.